You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A Center Reach man was charged with more than 20 counts of animal cruelty after 11 dogs were found in what authorities call his rat-infested home. Now, police and town officials searched 42-year-old Christopher DiGiovanna's home over the weekend. They say the dogs were living in, quote, deplorable conditions. 2 of the Chihuahuas found at the house tested positive for cocaine. The animals were given to rescue groups and will be placed up for adoption. DiGiovanna could get 22 years in prison if convicted. And there's a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hezbollah forces in Lebanon. The U.S. brokered deal could end nearly 14 months of fighting linked to the ongoing war in Gaza. President Joe Biden spoke about the agreement.
Effective at 4 a.m. tomorrow local time, the fighting across the Lebanese-Israeli border will end. This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities.
Now, shortly after the ceasefire was announced, another Israeli airstrike shook Beirut. The halt to fighting expected to reduce the chance of Israel going to war with Iran, which backs Hezbollah. And officials are warning parents about an SAT scam. The state's Division of Consumer Protection says calls are going around from people claiming to be from the College Board saying their child asked for test prep materials. The scammer will then ask for an address and credit card for a deposit. Parents who receive a call like this can call the College Board directly for help at 866-680-9990. And the Clean Slate Law went into effect earlier this month, giving people a chance to clear their criminal records. Now, in order to qualify, the person must have completed their sentence and stayed out of trouble for a period of time. 3 years for a misdemeanor and 8 years for a felony. They must also have no pending charges.
There are a lot of crimes that are just plain off limits that you can never have expunged. Certainly murder is one. Any kind of sex crime is one. So there are guardrails to keep it from the most serious crimes being ever expunged.
You can read more about this story. Just go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. And new luxury apartments have opened up in Comac with rent starting at more than $4,000. The 86-unit development is a 55 and older community. The apartments range from 1,200 to 1,900 square feet and have private garages too. Now, 2-bedroom units cost between $4,500 and $5,700. And get your umbrella ready. It will be a rainy Thanksgiving. Meteorologist Rich Von Olin has our holiday weather update.
The latest drought monitor that we've seen still showing that we're in this severe drought for Long Island, so we still have a little ways to go. It may take a while before we finally get substantial rain to kind of break this drought situation. Of course, it's been very dry the last couple of months, starting to catch up in November, and I think as we go into Thanksgiving, we are going to see more in the way of substantial rain, and after that, probably not too much. But travel forecasts across the country, if you're going to be doing any kind of traveling coast to coast, it looks like a drier, quiet day for most of Wednesday. But look at Thursday. You just talked about this rain. It's going to be a soggy turkey day up and down the eastern seaboard from Atlanta, from places like Washington, D.C., up towards New York City here in Long Island. A little bit of wet snow north and west, but nothing like they had seen last week. And then as that moves out, it looks like most of the rest of the holiday weekend will just be cold. Look at the temperatures coming in here across the Midwest, the Great Lakes. It's going to feel like the winter season already, starting probably late Saturday, going into Sunday, and certainly through next week. So holiday travel is going to be okay, but just make sure you got the heater on the car and make sure you have the winter weather gear, the hat, the gloves, everything you need.
And Nassau officials are warning folks to be careful while cooking this week.
Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for home fires, and they're all mostly related to cooking fires. So keep your eye on the stove, keep your eye on the turkey, whatever you're doing inside or out, smoke alarms, and pay attention.
Now, firefighters showed how quickly a deep-fried turkey can catch fire. They recommend to avoid loose-fitting clothes, make sure children are not running around in the kitchen, and to double-check that smoke detector that you have to make sure it's working. Now, only in Newsday, days ahead of Thanksgiving, there are folks providing food to Long Islanders in need. Virginia Huey takes us to a new place helping to put feasts on the table.
wasn't gonna do any Thanksgiving, but they started saying, Mom, where's the turkey? Where's the turkey?
Dadine Sinoyes of Valley Stream worried she wouldn't be able to serve turkey with all the trimmings for her 2 teenage sons this Thanksgiving.
One of those and one other choice.
But the opening of this Long Island Cares food pantry in Valley Stream lifted the burden.
So altogether you get 3.
Sinoyes lost her job as a home health aide a year ago and says it's been tough to feed her family.
Food is expensive now, so this is gonna help me.
Helping people dealing with food insecurity is the goal of the West Nassau Center for Food Assistance and Community Support, which is run by Long Island Cares.
It's a very sad statement when a family has to sit there and make a choice. Okay, do I pay my rent or my mortgage today? Or do I put food on the table for my family?
To give you an idea of how great the need is, when this food pantry opened in September, it served 601 people. By the end of October, that number shot up to 854. Generous donations of turkeys and grants help keep the shelves stocked for those in need, including 78-year-old Vita Picarillo of Oceanside.
I'm limited with Social Security, and it does help to supplement me.
Sinoy says the food pantry is making it possible to provide meals on Thanksgiving and beyond for her sons. For that, she's grateful.
It's spectacular. It's awesome.
In Valley Stream, Virginia Huey, NewsdayTV.
Now to read more about Long Island Cares, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. Turkeys and tradition. Here's a local farm that provides both. In Calverton, there's a place where you can't talk turkey without talking tradition.
It's a good life, man. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mark Malowski, grandson of Will Malowski, is a poultry farmer who runs his 30-acre business that started nearly 80 years ago.
So we have 4 pens each. Each pen is full of turkeys of different sizes.
Some turkeys are big, some growing, and most are very curious about our cameras. Nowadays, the days leading up to Thanksgiving, the tradition of keeping busy is very much alive.
We'll sell about 500, 600 per day up until Thanksgiving.
So as you heard, they're selling thousands of turkeys, and they're not going to a store. You're not gonna find them on a shelf like a ShopRite or a Stop and Shop. There's only one shelf where you'll find these birds, and that's in there, that store at the front of the farm. Customers who walk in quickly realize here, birds reign supreme.
This is a 40-pound turkey in the HOV lane of the LIE.
And proudly admit they would not want it any other way.
You're making meatballs, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to King Cullen? No. You're gonna come here. People have been coming here for how many years? It's been here since forever.
So while you and your family carve out your holiday traditions, here on the East End, one farm cherishes the one they've grown.
It's a family thing. My life goal is to get it to 100 years, so we're at 79. It's nice to keep the family business going because so many people give up.
Now to read more stories like this, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your Long Island weather, including that Turkey Day that's coming up. You can see tonight we are in the high 30s, mostly clear skies. Tomorrow we're in the 50s with partly cloudy skies. Take a closer look at tomorrow. You can see there's no rain in the forecast. Temps again in the 50s. But the 7-day forecast that reveals the Turkey Day weather. And as you can see, we got some rain coming through, but it's only going to be on Thanksgiving. It looks like we're dry throughout, and the temps are dropping as we go on.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us.